am ecstatic. I'm thrilled. I am on top of and over the moon to report beyond my wildest expectations. And I can't believe I'm saying it. The visibility and the audio are good at the same time in Call of Duty Warzone. We're live, boys, B's and G's. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, episode number 511. My name is Casey, aka Razinon, and today I'm joined by Tanner. Dropshot.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing that, but anyway, welcome to the show. And today we got some activity. We got some things to talk about. The update is live and we've played it. In my case, quite a lot. In Tanner's case, a couple hours. He's supposedly moving next week or the week after, don't remember which, and didn't ask.
It's next week, so good luck on the pod next week. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe. I'll figure something out for sure. Oh yeah, so we won't be doing that next week then.
You can do it. Let's do it. Get somebody on.
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see.
Figure it out. You're a big boy. You're a good boy.
Don't say that. Oh, that sucks, man. God damn it. That's terrible timing. Whatever. Anyway, welcome to the show.
Yeah, do you just never read anything I type to you?
I read it.
You just actually don't read stuff. It's crazy. Yeah.
No, I read it. I just didn't really think about like, oh,
I mean, we could just do that
Verdansk.
we could just do it on Wednesday or Thursday because the news pod, there won't be a patch really.
That's true.
There might be a hot fix or two, so.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably do that. Anyway, whatever. Welcome to the show, guys. Okay, wow. Thank you for the memberships. Marcus with the 5 gifteds. Yeah. That's a Tarkov meme, and it worked my stream yesterday and right now also. Marcus Mick Evoy? I don't know. Mick. Thank you. I'm not sure if I can say that. For the 5 fucking gifteds, man. Yeah. Great shit on YouTube. If you got a gifted membership, thank stuff. Marcus. Great stuff. Yeah. Thank you very much. And also, that's it. It just shows up as like 5 alerts, whatever. Marcus, thank you, and only you specifically for the 5 gifted.
Yeah, nobody
5
else,
gifted, yeah. You guessed correctly. W Marcus. That's what I always say. Thank you. All right. Appreciate that. Today, we're reviewing the update. So this has lingered already, so I guess we'll just do the announcements now. So don't skip to the end of the show. Skip to the next timestamp if it's bugging you that we're doing announcements. This is going to be old school. Next week, next Saturday, Tanner will be moving, supposedly. He's also said this for years and years, so he may or may not actually be moving. I don't know.
I've been doing stuff over there, which we still are.
Didn't ask. Okay, so regardless, whatever. I think what we'll do next week is on, as Tanner was just saying, Wednesday or Thursday, whenever. Whatever time next week that Tanner and I are both going to be available. Our next ep is going to be all about Verdansk, the sequel. Many of you, it was called All About Warzone. That's what it was called. Many of you won't know what that means, but once upon a time, way fucking back in the day, 5 years ago, Warzone came out. We didn't like it at first, and then that's all we started playing. And then we did an episode after a couple weeks, months maybe, of playing a lot, called All About Warzone. And it was kind of a primer on how to play the game. Like what to do, why, what perks to run, what equipment, shit like that. So kind of like if you're a patron, like a, you know, brainstorm ep, except a lot more like concrete, set in stone shit. So, you know, for example, you really should be doing contracts because there is not money to loot. So you really want to be doing those. Specifically, if you can, do a scav because you get a guaranteed satchel, which is really fucking good. And then also like where to drop, what guns to use, what perks to be running, etc. And we haven't talked about that. We haven't done that ep in, I mean, yeah, it's been years. So we did one, I think, also for Caldera, maybe, or during that time. But someone in Discord was like, you guys should do this type of episode. And I concur.
We did one for Urzikstan too, didn't we?
I don't remember.
Is this like the All About Warzone one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely during MW3 era.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. We're gonna do another one for Verdansk.
Verdonks.
Especially, I think this is going to be useful for those of you who did not play during the original Verdansk, because the game now does resemble a lot, some would say too much, the original Verdansk. Oh, another good thing I need to write down. Okay. So that's going to be fun. I'm really excited to do that. I already have a lot to say, and we'll have a lot more to say next week when we do that episode. So right now what we're going to do is kind of like a review, talk about the update. Give a couple little tips at the outset here, just for now. I think a lot of these are not going to be relevant very soon, so I just kind of want to say it now, and then we dispense with it with the next episode if relevant. But that's going to be a banger. So if you're kind of like confused or you're getting fucking run over easily, this next ep we're going to do is going to be for you, because the way you played Warzone fucking season 2 and the way you ought to be playing Warzone right now are fucking massively different. And yeah. I mean massively different. So if you just don't understand what the fuck's going on, but you had a grasp on last season's Warzone, or if you've never had a grasp on Warzone, perhaps that's even more important to you this next ep we're going to be doing. So I'm very excited for that. Stick around. And then, yeah, for like next Saturday ep or something, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. And we'll let you guys know on our Twitter and in our YouTube. So, okay. With that out of the way, thank you again, Marcus, for the 5 gifted ? And now the episode. So this is going to be, as always, season 3 first impressions / review. This, however, it's going to be a little different because this is a fucking huge update in terms of content and in terms of changes. There are a fuck ton of changes. There's a fuck ton of new shit, or in scare quotes, new shit, because a lot of it's kind of a throwback. But before we talk about that, we'll basically split this into 3 sections. First, we're going to talk about PSAs. So just a couple little quick tips for you guys for the environment right now. Then we're going to start with the good things about the update, and then the bad things about the update, and then kind of an overall, you know, whatever, overall impression, as I call it. So with that, any other announcements that we have? Patreon, we're going to be doing free trials April 11th onward. We're choosing that date because by then we'll have some bonus eps for you to have access to, so that you're not like signing up for a free trial and then only getting, you know, ad-free and early access public episodes, which is a great benefit, but also the bonus episodes. Other than that, I don't think we have any other real announcements. We should be doing our next Patreon episode next week, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah.
So
Tuesday.
we got to do taxes too. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Maybe
All
we
right.
won't be doing an episode next week.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, we'll see how long that takes. Okay, regardless, you'll figure it out. PSAs, starting with this. Okay, so for the gun meta, a lot of people are asking, what we're using and what is the meta right now. I wrote these notes yesterday. I think this has changed a little bit. But I think what seems to be for ARs, well, first of all, the meta is a Car 98. Hope that helps. That's the best gun you can use. Every death I have, I feel like, is to a car where people just miss me and I'm dead. And when I use the car, I also just miss people and get the down. It's a very forgiving gun for some reason, whatever. You don't want to snipe, and I mean any sniper. They're very, very fucking good right now on this map because it's way more open than Urikistan was. Besides that, though, there are a couple of options for like your primary. The Grau is actually pretty fucking good. You got to use the SWAT 556. There is a fire mod that is called a Grau conversion kit. That makes it full auto. It unlocks a new magazine type in that mag attachments. It's just a 50 rounder. Equip that, obviously. Locks the barrel. You can use the irons and then, build whatever else you want. I'd recommend vertical foregrip, quick draw grip. There's your 5 attachments. Don't need the optic. And honestly, you also don't need gunfighter with it. You can, but you're not going to get that much utility out of it because you don't need an optic and you don't need a laser and you can't run a barrel. So what the fuck else are you running?
Yeah, it's a waste.
So that's a good option because its time to kill is good. It has little recoil. You can get away with putting a silencer on it. You don't have to run a compensator. And because you can run overkill with it, you don't have to hit 2 loadouts. You can just have your SMG ready right on that first loadout, and then you can save the second one. Or if you weren't able to buy one, you're not getting a second one for a while. For whatever. Let me write this down.
Yeah, have you been seeing the car more than the HDR?
Yes, easily.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because you get crazy aim assist on it, and it's just the refire rate is so fast. Although the ground loot, the HDR is way more common. So I'm seeing fucking lots of both, to be very clear.
I didn't, yeah. I mean, it was right when the game launched for me, but I didn't see anyone running cars. It was all HDRs at that point, it seemed like.
Yeah, they're both good, obviously. But either way, yeah, those are both very good if you're sniping. Depends on your playstyle, obviously. But anyway.
HDR is fast, so it's you might as well just run that at 1 shots at any range. It doesn't ADS slowly at all, honestly. The guns, it's too good. It's quite a lot faster than I thought it would be.
The big downside of it is no aim assist, I don't think, unlike the car, and the refire rate is way slower than a car. So
yeah, it seems I don't think it has any aim assist at all.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Grau's good. If you do want a gun that kills way faster on paper, AMAX. It's nuts. Its time to kill is nuts. It's very good. It does have some recoil. In my opinion, this is a gun you do really want or need gunfighter for. I don't think you can make an AMAX work with 5 attachments, honestly. I mean, if you're insane, a sniper
support build,
maybe. Yeah. So it could be good for a sniper support gun. The most common, I think, sniper support though is the AK. That's boring because it's an old gun, but a lot of people are doing that as either an AK SMG type build that's sniper support, or just running 2 ARs like the FFAR days and using their AK as their SMG. That's another good thing. I'm not going to write it down. I'll just say it now. It is cool that sniper support guns are even relevant now. Like, that hasn't been a thing for a long time. That's kind of nice. But anyway, AMAX is another one. I do think you need Gunfighter, though. And I think also you really want to be running a compensator on it. So if you really wanted to be silenced, I would use the Grow. Kilo also is, I mean, a laser beam has fucking no recoil whatsoever, but time to kill on it sucks. I mean, it's just like it was back in the day. You will be getting a lot of hit markers. Really good for ripping people off headies, because if you only see 1 pixel, that's fine. Get on it and it's not going to move off of it and pull your trigger. But overall, I don't think it's good enough at all. If you're in like an open field or like on some hills where no one has cover and you're just in a heads up gunfight, if you have a Kilo and they have anything else, you're both probably hitting most of your shots and you're for sure losing the gunfight. your time to kill is just too slow. So I don't think Kilo is worth using. But this is still very early days. Could be wrong. I don't know. There's also the monolithic suppressor. This is on page 7 of the battle pass, and it's not the page completion thing. It's just a random token in there. So if you're wondering how the fuck you get it, that's how. It's on page 7. Look through the options. I forgot about it. I missed it. I've now unlocked it.
It's just like the icon is a briefcase or something. So it's like if you don't hover over it and look at it, people don't really know. They don't make it super obvious, or it's not easy for new players to figure these things out at all.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, PSA, it's there. I think it's definitely worth unlocking, and again, I think it's worth using on some guns. It gives you damage range, it gives you bullet velocity, and it also, according to the detailed stats view, gives you some recoil control somewhere, horizontal maybe. But in the simplified view, it doesn't say that. What does it actually do? Don't know yet. But it's basically a better regular suppressor. The downsides are, I think, aim down sight speed and something else that doesn't matter. So you definitely, if you're going to run a silencer on an AR, like your long range gun, definitely use that one. So you want to unlock it. But I don't think you could make a monolithic work on an AMAX for big map. Like for Rebirth, maybe. But yeah, keep that in mind. And then another thing, I'll mention this again. If you are hitting 2 loadies so that you can get your 8 attachment AR and then your SMG later, like in the good old days, you should stop getting Bandolier and you should start getting Battle Ready wildcard for that SMG, for that second loadout. Because utility box is fucking way more important than a Muni Vest thing now. I was hitting Bandolier a couple times. I actually don't even know what it does anymore, because you don't get extra equipment like you used to with it in Season 2. I think it just increases your max ammo capacity, but the scavenger perk also does that, which you also should be running because there are no plates on the map. This is also why the utility box is way better than Bandolier, because it's a utility box. It has ammo and plates in it. The ammo you don't give a fuck about, but the plates, there are none. So this absolutely should be your second loadie 100% of the time. Be careful though. You're holding a streak and you get this loadout, it will drop your streak and equip the fucking supply UAV that no one gives a fuck about, and you will forget the kill streak you were holding until it's far too late. It's happened to me 5 times already. So be careful of that. And then you'll pop it and you'll think it's a UAV. It's not. And then you'll be bugged. But yeah, get that utility box going. A lot of the shit we're going to talk about also applies to Rebirth. So like, you can't buy guns anymore on Rebirth Island. There are no balloons anymore on Rebirth Island. I feel bad for Rebirth mains, because the game.
Wait, did they really change all that on Rebirth?
Yes. I was watching Jay Cucci last night and he was fucking crashing out. Yeah.
Why the fuck would they do that? Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. These changes are like fine on big map.
Don't play Rebirth though, right?
But on Rebirth, they just made it, much, much worse. Like, don't ever go Stronghold now on Rebirth, because you can't balloon out anymore. So it's trash for the reasons we said it was trash originally over there, which is that you're on the low ground on the edge of the map. You're going to have to rotate in probably, and you are fucked without a balloon, which there aren't any. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, again, I heavily recommend right now you guys all run Scavenger, because this gives you a plate and or an extra plate whenever you kill someone and loot them. It also gives you $1,500. This does work. So that's nice too. We're all running Scavenger right now for the plates because there are none. So having plates is kind of cool in the game. So we're running Scavenger. This is a blue perk, slot 1. But as a consequence, I've also noticed we have a fuck ton of money. Just a fuck ton of money, which is also nice. So you can just buy a Lodi whenever you want, buy UAV whenever you want, because that money does add up. Mm-hmm. And then I would also say run Tempered for the same reason. There aren't any plates, and you can't hold that many plates. So if you happen to throw an armor box, cool. You have 5 reserved now. Good luck. That is with Tempered 2.5 plate cracks and you're dry. So hope that helps. So being able to be fully plated by only consuming 40% of your plates rather than 60% is very good. So I would say,
with the time to kill too,
whatever,
even just getting that one plate in, it's going to help you survive longer, of course, than one plate without Tempered. So it's really important right now.
Yes. So that's true too. Yeah. So those are some PSAs. We'll have more, obviously, in our next ep, but just a couple very early things. The Scavenger thing, like we also said this at the beginning of season 1 or 2, there were also no fucking plates. So I was like, wait, should maybe run Scavenger because it guarantees you a plate. It's true again. But hopefully this will be changed soon. So now on to the good. So this is the good section of the review. Within this, no particular order, except for this, because these are the 2 most important things in an FPS video game. So I'm putting them here first. And then I'm also putting this.
You already had it down here too.
Oh, did I? Okay. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, sorry. All right. The 2 things that are the most important in a first-person shooter video game. I've been saying this for fucking 5 years. Okay. And we've seldom had both at the same time. Okay. So no matter what I say for the rest of this episode, keep these 2 things in mind. These are the most important things, fucking obviously, in a first-person shooter video game. That is the visibility and the audio. Because if I can't see someone in a first-person shooter video game, I can't shoot at them. And if I don't hear them, I also can't shoot at them. I have to know people are there when they're there, basically. That is the core aspect of an FPS game that we, again, woefully have been missing for a long ups and downs for the last 5 years. I am not pleased is an understatement. I am ecstatic. I'm thrilled. I am on top of and over the moon to report, beyond my wildest expectations, and I can't believe I'm saying it, the visibility and the audio are good at the same time in Call of Duty Warzone.
Wow.
I mean, that's it. So no matter what else we say here, we've nailed down the core, most important possible thing in an FPS game, which is a great sign. Fucking great news. Great news. I'm thrilled about it. Let me also say, I've never been more surprised at an update since we started this podcast. Ever. Fucking ever. They had that whole horseshit audio thing Well, it's not horseshit, I guess. They had the old audio section at the end of the patch notes. And I said, believe none of it. They've never gotten the audio right. They fucking locked in, I guess. They did it. The audio in particular is virtually perfect. I have not once, literally, in like 16 hours of playing, literally not one single time have I not heard someone that I should have heard. I don't think I can say that about any other time ever in Warzone. On any map. It's unbelievable that they did it, but they did it. And yeah, it's just, I'm so happy about it, and I just can't believe it. So kudos to them. I will eat crow. I was super fucking wrong in our last episode when I said believe none of this shit's happening. To be fair to me, they've said shit like that every other update, and it's never been true. However, they fucking nailed it, and kudos to them for getting the most important two things largely correct. The audio is virtually perfect. I'm hearing cars when I should and where I should, with the exception of helicopters. You can get out of them and they still sound like they're flying. It's like a weird bug.
At least they make sound. I mean, you haven't heard a helicopter in a year and a half, essentially, and that audio's back. True. Now you never don't hear them. Once it gets started, the sound doesn't go away, which I'd much rather have. You don't just get landed on by a completely silent helicopter like you had been on Urzikstan.
Exactly. Yes. So you hear choppers, you hear cars, you hear footsteps everywhere. I hear them in the grass. I hear them in the dirt. I hear them on metal, obviously. And I just can't believe it because I've never played Verdansk with footstep audio before. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
I've never played Verdansk with. I'm literally not kidding. I have never until 2 days ago played on Verdansk and there was footstep audio at the same time. It's never happened, and fuck is it nice and refreshing. The audio's sensational. Some people, I guess, on Twitter are saying it's ass. I don't get it.
Really? I haven't seen that at all yet.
Well, I don't know. Jake said that some people on Twitter were saying that.
Okay. I haven't seen
it either.
About audio at all.
Yeah, and I hope not, because I don't want them to touch it, because it's really good. Now, asterisk, I don't know about zip audio. There are no zips. So last season, zip audio didn't exist. So when they bring back zips, will I hear those? I may or may not. If I can, then the audio will just be perfect. And I can't believe it. It's the best. I'm so fucking happy about it.
Now the question is, can they hold it and not break it? Because it was also really good in MW3 Urzikstan Season 2, and then they ruined it.
Yep.
I thought that was peak audio. I haven't played this enough to say one way or another yet, but that audio was absolutely perfect. So this, and then, they made a seasonal update and then just ruined it. And they never got back to that again. They never got back to how good that audio was. So hopefully, going into Season 3 Reloaded, Season 4, they don't change anything and somehow break it again, because that's what seems like always happens. How about ladders? Have you noticed ladders at all? Do those
ladders
make sound?
Are audible. They're not super, super loud. Like I would say they were last season.
Okay.
Sometimes. I don't know. The ladders were, I don't know. But audio now on ladders, I think, is in a great spot. You hear them. You definitely hear them. But like if you're climbing a ladder and I'm, 40 meters from you, I won't hear it. And I shouldn't hear it. I think it's a good radius you hear a ladder from. So like they're fair that you can push up them, but if you're close to it, you fucking definitely hear them. And it has a unique sound. It sounds like a ladder. Like, oh, okay, someone's climbing the ladder. I can hear that. The audio is so good. And I'm so fucking happy about it. And I can't stress enough how surprised I am. I'm so surprised, but I said it last episode. I hope I'm wrong, and I was. So based. So, fucking golf clap to Activision for the audio. Really good. And then the other thing is the visibility. So at first, I was having a lot of trouble seeing people outside. Not because of the sun glare, but just because, I don't know, they blended into the grass to me or some shit. I don't really know what it was. However, after playing for a couple more hours, I'm not really having trouble seeing people outside anymore. People can and will sit in a bush and you won't see them. But I mean, I guess you shouldn't if they're in a bush. So that'll happen. And maybe also if people are just like literally not moving at all, you won't see them right away either. At least I won't, because I'm like a snake. I track movement. Okay. But by and large, visibility outdoors is pretty good. I think it's a little early because I don't know. I was having trouble early on, but like lately I haven't had any trouble seeing people outside. So I don't know what the deal is there. Indoors, on the other hand, excellent visibility. Yeah. And again, color me fucking shocked. Utterly flabbergasted. But the visibility indoors everywhere is great. When I'm shooting a gun, when I'm not shooting a gun, I can fucking easily see people indoors. So in a building, whatever room, all that shit. Garage. There isn't like, oh, avoid this POI because they have the dark ass fucking rooms you can't see into.
Right.
Which is really nice. Because on Urzikstan, the buy by mosque last season, there was a building, the one that the buy was sitting on the side of. If you walked around to the other side, went into that room where the stairs are, black hole. Impossible to see anyone in it. They could be wearing a web skin. You couldn't see them. And that's just not fun, obviously, in an FPS game. But here, perfect. Visibility's perfect indoors. Everywhere indoors that I've been, which is a lot of the map. So no matter what we say, again, we're already at like a 7 out of 10 update. Because the audio and visibility are now better than they were last season. I'd argue last season on Urzikstan, I still probably had an easier time seeing people outside. Oh, it could be because I was very used to it.
It's because it's all concrete. People don't blend into anything because there's no...
That wherever, could be it too. You're right.
Especially where you guys would play on Urzikstan, it's all buildings. You can't miss people because they're running along the side of a building. But in this, where there's a little hill and somebody's running slightly below you and all that you would see is their head, but then there's also grass right there. So their head is going through grass. It's just naturally harder to see people. It's just going to be, even if you think the visibility is good outside, it's still just going to be harder to see people than it was on Urzikstan. I think that's the weirdest thing, is going from absolutely 10 out of 10 outside visibility on Urzikstan to going to like a 7.5 out of 10 on Urzikstan. But yeah, I think yeah. But like you said, I think it'll just take a little bit of getting used to. And if you're already noticing it getting a lot better, then I'm sure I will too as I play more.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things too with the indoor visibility is not only is it just good when you're inside and the other guy's inside, you can run like 50 meters away, look at a doorway, and it's still bright inside there. That's the biggest thing, where that is what really did not work on Urzikstan. Some of the buildings, when you went inside on Urzikstan, they were fine. The lighting was good enough. You could see people in there. Yeah. But it was when you got back from far away and you were looking in, that's when you couldn't see anything. That's perfect now. There's none of that stupid like dynamic lighting thing that they had talked about adding whenever, I guess it was when we got Urzikstan, I think, right? Yeah. So all of that seems to be changed for the better.
Yep.
You can just really clearly see in. So now it's like, you're not running up to a building and some guy's not peeking and you don't see him and he just guns you anymore. You see that outline now. You see the person slowly peeking around a corner, and it's much better.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm happy. I mean, that's almost all you need. Holy shit. Because we've never had this good of a combination of audio and visibility before, ever. And it's really nice to be able to see people indoors again. Because, you just couldn't in a lot of Urzikstan. And that shit was ass. So, sensational stuff. I put those two at the front here because they're the most important thing. Again, if you can't see or hear people, the game sucks. The game fucking sucks. But that's not the case here, which is great, exceptional news. So again, I was very wrong on both of these fronts, and I'm very happy about it. Moving on from that, what other good things do we have? So another one that's very important. I haven't seen a cheater yet. Excuse me, I haven't noticed a cheater yet. And again, amazed. I can't believe it. But I have not seen one person cheating yet in Warzone. There are some clips on Twitter, like Joe had a clip where he died to a cheater, and his name was No New Anti-Cheat. And that's fine. I'm not claiming there are no cheaters, but there aren't that many of them, because if there were, we'd be seeing them. We'd be seeing them for sure. And the fact that we're not noticing them, again, great stuff. Great sign. It's a particularly good sign because even late season 2, there weren't that many cheaters either. So we have had it be the case a lot of times in the last 5 years where, season 4 is winding down and there are cheaters fucking everywhere. And then they have big season 5 update, and then there's no cheaters for a couple weeks. And you're like, okay, cool, but I mean, we've been through this song and dance before, and then a season 5 goes on, their cheaters get worse and worse and worse. However, when they were doing nothing else to the game, there weren't that many cheaters the end of season 2. And we going into season 3, still aren't that many. Really good stuff. Because the game's also dog shit if someone is rage hacking in every lobby. So the fact that that's not happening, at least yet, is a really good sign. Now, to be clear, I'm a lot less, excited about this because, again, we have been through this song and dance before. I will not be surprised if we start seeing a lot of cheaters again. I just won't. However, I will be surprised if the visibility gets worse. They're not going to just nuke the visibility, because that has not really happened before, besides the BO6 integration and rolling back Urzikstan. But they're not going to do that again. So audio, on the other hand, again, I'm tenuously optimistic about it because they have made audio perfect and then fucked it before. So hopefully the audio's here to stay. I don't know. But at least the visibility is, and I think the cheater thing is a good sign too. So really happy about all of that.
Yeah. Those are 3 big things.
Yeah, major things. And then another new thing is bugs. I originally wrote, I didn't notice a single new bug in 8 hours. This is after the first day. There are a couple new bugs. Let's be very clear. However, a more than acceptable number of new bugs. So there are some, like the scavenger perk, you're supposed to have max reserve ammo when you pick up the loadout. You may or may not have max reserve ammo. Whatever. Not the end of the world. It is a bug. But yes, not a huge deal. There are probably some other ones. I can't even think of another one right now. But I expected people under the map, which I haven't seen, running me over. I expected like crazy weapon models, whatever. And I expected a whole fuck ton of new bugs that I'm not seeing. And again, color me shocked, because they've never done an update this big that is this bug free from the outset. Now, let me be ultra clear. That doesn't mean there aren't any bugs. There are still a lot of them, unfortunately, but they are the old bugs. So, oh fuck, what are they? Oh, like you still can't save loadouts, for example.
They just can't figure that shit out.
They really just can't. Yeah. I don't know why, but they can't. I'm not sure.
Akimbo sneak shots were bugged. they took those out of the game already. They were killing in 200 milliseconds.
Yeah.
Luckily, they worked fast and got rid of those.
Right. Yeah. So, so this, like, the scav bug is new. The whatever old example I just gave you, I'm not sure I trust minimap red dot pings 100%. Those seem maybe kind of buggy still, although for the most part they're pretty good. The amount of money I have is fake often still. So it'll say I have $20,000. I'll go to a buy station and discover I have $10. Cool. So like a lot of, and then the fucking worst one they haven't fixed, unfortunately. I still often mantle over rather than on top of a thin, high, low, wide octagon ledge every time. That
it's probably because it's a new map now, and now that'll also never be fixed. Because I feel like they basically have to fix a bunch of specific areas, and now since we're on a totally new map, it's just never going to work correctly there either.
I hope not, but I mean, maybe. Yeah. And then, another thing, like if you call in a cluster strike, you just get like some weird thing on your UI for the rest of the game every time you ADS your gun. I don't know what that is, but that's like a new bug. So it's not like there aren't any bugs, to be very clear. There are some holdover bugs, some other examples that I've forgotten. And then there are a couple of new bugs. However, there are gonna be new bugs with an update this big. So like, I'm not mad that the scav ammo is not working all the time, or like the cluster strike thing, provided they get fixed in a timely fashion. And with these things, these are not hard bugs to fix, it seems like. I think they will be fixed in a timely fashion. Oh, another bug, which is really bad, is if you're on controller, you can't slide the prone right now. You'll like, because you used to be able to, like, if you're running and you just hold B or circle, you'll slide and then you'll like go prone. You like can't do that right now. I think this works still on KBAM, but on controller, which is the most of you, this just doesn't work. This is a pretty bad one. But again, like I don't expect a bug-free update. This is a very acceptable number of bugs. None of them are like game breaking, except maybe that one, but even then, not really. And these are the types of bugs I feel like are fairly easy fixes, and I'm pretty confident they're going to fix them Monday or Tuesday, like early. So that's great news, because I was not expecting that. Again, I was expecting people fucking under the map, having 18 attachment guns, all kinds of goofy dumb shit, full auto RPGs, like all kinds of shit I was expecting. So this is way better of a launch than I expected. Yeah,
and then, you know, what it comes down is like, we've been so mad about it lately is because there are bugs that go months and months and months where they don't fix them. And it'll be a bug that happens to somebody every single day, every single match they play. And that's what gets annoying. So like, we expected a lot of bugs, and really what it comes down to is how quickly can they fix these. But yeah, it doesn't seem like there are a whole lot of game breaking ones at all, really. So yeah, that's good. And you know, like with the snake shots killing so fast, somebody put a video out on that, like 4 hours later, 6 hours later, they were already out of the game. So they worked fast for something like that. Yep. And that's different than what they used to do. They used to just tweet out, we're aware that they're a little overpowered. We're going to put out a patch in a few days and fix them. But no, they immediately just took them out of the game, and that's good. So yeah, they're on top of it for basic things like that. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this first patch goes.
Yes.
Post update to see what they say and what actually changes.
Right. And what kind of trend we can expect.
I have hope and faith that they'll actually successfully put out a patch.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, fucking crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we've been riding their ass, like Tanner was just saying, for writing fake patch notes. But it's because they've been egregiously fake every single time for every major and minor patch this whole fucking year up till now. They've been like really bad. Like, don't say you fixed quick fix 4 fucking times. That's completely unacceptable. However, some of the patch notes happen to be fake because they were bugged or like don't work or whatever. But again, the patch this big, that's to be expected. Yeah. That's fine. Everyone ought to understand that. I'm in that camp. So it's going to come down to how quickly do they fix them? Excuse me. How quickly do they attempt to fix them? And is that attempt going to be successful? This is such a 180 in terms of quality that I actually do have faith that they will competently address the new bugs. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they apply that same method to old ones. I'm very tired of mantling over shit I don't want to. I'm extremely fucking tired of it. And it's still happening in the exact same way. Please fix it. That one is huge. Because if you mantle over rather than on top of a ledge at a roof, you're fucking dead. Super dead. All the time. So please fix that one. But again, way less buggy than I was expecting. Really good. Next is the new squad widget info appears to be correct, including the money. So everyone will know how much money you have except you sometimes. So that's cool. But also, like, whether they have a gas mask, self-revive, what field upgrade they have, if any, and then kill streak. Those all seem to be accurate every single time, which is really nice. So instead of saying, anyone have a plate box? I just say, Cope, throw your plate box. I need it.
Yeah, you did that to me. You said, is that a plate box? I need that. And I looked, I'm like, yeah, I do have a plate box.
Yep. And that's nice. Now, this one, they get a lot less credit for because this is fucking day one shit. I mean, we really should have had this literally years ago and every time since then. However, they did it finally, so good. And it works.
It was what, Caldera when we had this? What did the one in Caldera show?
Probably late Caldera.
I think it was Caldera.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
a lot of good things in Caldera, man. Imagine Caldera with Omni movement. Imagine that level of dev support with Omni movement and Verdansk's.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine crazy. Caldera with Omni movement on Verdansk. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's good. Cool. Okay, sorry. Next, vehicle buff. Or the vehicle change, whatever. It was real. Vehicles are great now. Do they handle exactly like they did in Warzone 1? That was 5 years ago. Don't fucking remember.
No.
I will say this, though. They're good enough. They're way better than they were last season, and they are all usable and good enough. The Polaris Razor fucking zooms. The quad is quite fast. By the way, the new Congo Mongoose off-road vehicle, ATV, whatever, it's a 3-seater. I didn't know that. But like 3 people can interact with it and be seated. And then if you want to squeeze a 4th that has to like hop on top, whatever, you could probably do that. But the old ATVs, I don't know about last season. No one used vehicles because you didn't need to.
I thought they had been 3-seaters since like Warzone 2.
It's possible.
I thought Moz they had make them. But yeah, I mean, nobody used them, so I really have no clue. I'm pretty sure at one point they made it that way.
Okay.
But just didn't matter.
It didn't matter, yeah. But anyway, back when vehicles mattered, ATVs were 2-seaters. So I was surprised, or maybe even 1-seater originally. I don't know. I was surprised that they're 3-seaters, but now you know. So there you go. Anyway, doesn't matter. Don't drive ATVs.
Don't try. Just run at that point.
Yeah. All the vehicles are quite good, especially the chopper. That thing's fucking nuts, and hot take, it's faster than it used to be. I swear to God, It's faster than it was originally. Yep. Could be, well, no, it's not, it couldn't be that. I was gonna say, could be because of the FOV, but I wasn't a console shitter peasant fuck, so I've always been on 120 FOV, and it still feels faster than it did originally. Now again, this was 5 years ago, plus, however, I think it's faster. It really feels faster, which is cool. And they're not like too fast, like overpowered, I don't think, because they're still fairly fragile. You can shoot them down easily, kill people out of them easily. So you got to be skilled, but they're good.
Like so many of the things Warzone has been missing, those things are now back. Like however you feel about sniping, what are all the clips going around right now? One-shot sniping clips. That's what excites people. That's what the casuals want to see. That's what's interesting. That's what I want to see too. I would rather watch a sniping clip than like a 1v3 or 1v4. I don't know. They're just more entertaining, I think. So you're seeing a lot of that again, and you're seeing like the vehicle battles. We had numerous in a few hours the first day. We had numerous chopper to chopper battles, dude. Those are fun. We were flying right at a chopper one time. There was only the pilot in there. We were all shooting. I sniped him out, killed him. We just keep flying. It's just really fun. Dumb little things like that. I mean, day one, I had, I think, 3 or 4 snipes while I was in the chopper on some guy running on the ground, some guy in another vehicle, whatever. Those are the fun moments that Warzone has been missing for a long time now.
Yep. Yeah. Because, yeah, it was
very exciting stuff. Balloons. It's just been missing excitement, frankly. Yeah. Yeah. So it's been cool.
Yeah.
All those little things like that. They add up.
Missing excitement is kind of it. Because you got to rotate all the time now. I've nearly died to gas already. And I've died like rotating in. I've held people rotating in on foot. And that just never was a thing. And those like, oh, can I get into zone, whatever. I mean, they happened before, but like not this often. And it is really exciting. And like you see the glint, you see the 8 glints, and you're like, fuck, can he get to the buy? And then sniper shots are like whizzing past you. It's exciting. Because before, they're not hit. If they're hitting that, they're cheating. Because you're on a balloon going at fucking 132 speed units. I still don't know what those mean, but it says it in the fucking when you're parachuting.
Yep.
So
you know
anyway,
what that means. You're an expert on that.
Yeah, on the units of speed they give you. So anyway, that still bugs me, by the way. Don't just say I'm going 130. 130 what? Anyways. Yeah, so that's been cool. But yeah, the vehicle buff is great. And this really, really needed to be good because there are no balloons. And some of the rotates are fucking far, which is fine.
Yeah, very far.
Yeah. You
gotta move.
You gotta move. So they really needed to nail this, and I think they did. Vehicles are not too strong, but they're not too weak either. They got them, in my opinion, correct. So are they a 1-to-1 representation of what they were in Warzone 1? Almost certainly not, but I don't care. I want them to be balanced. I want them to be good enough to serve the purpose they should without being busted OP, and I think that's exactly what they are. So the vehicle change is exactly what we needed if you're going to take away balloons. So that's really good.
Just don't use the ATV and don't use the Polaris Razor. It's fast, but with this time to kill, I mean, some guy firing 20 bullets, believe me, it happened to us twice, kills all 4 of you.
Easily.
Just don't even bother. Use a Bertha, use a helicopter, or use a LTV, or just run. Don't even bother getting in the cars. You're gonna just get shot out of it. Yeah. Unless gas is suffocating you and you just have a car there and just to get out of zone. Otherwise, I'm being serious. Do not bother using it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, those are like last resort. Or if you're, if you're like, I don't know, on a wall by like milli or something, you can get an ATV, you have cover. So, but like, be extremely, don't go in the open with those. So that's great. And then on a somewhat related note, the pacing of games. So games are 25 minutes now instead of 20 or 22, whatever they used to be.
We figured out, yeah.
The change is noticeable and good. Games don't feel slow because you can't balloon. So you're not like, okay, I'm exactly where I want to be instantly and now I'm waiting. That isn't the case. Like, so because traveling takes a while, this again needed to happen. They needed to make the games longer, and they made them the correct length of time. The games don't feel slow at all, but they're slowed down from what they used to be, which is quite good. So
it's a good pacing.
It's great pacing, yes. And it does make it feel more like a BR, along with the next point, which is the regain mechanics. They're gone, and it's awesome. You can't have a fucking gulag token. You get one shot at it. By the way, visibility and audio is also great in the gulag.
Yeah,
I have not seen anyone a single time. Easily I hear them also. It's fantastic. This is great news. I'm not blinded by muzzle flash. Holy shit, is it nice to have a fair gulag fight. So that's really cool. But again, yeah, no gulag tokens, no fucking redeploy packs, no flares, no ground loot shrouded and everyone has self-revive. So if you get a down, they're usually going to get fulled unless whatever, they have a teammate right next to them or something. This is really good. And the main thing that's really good about this, I guess I kind of did write this down, is that you will not very often, if ever, in fact, it hasn't happened to me once yet, get landed on. So this happened all the time in Urzikstan, although it was really, you were the one doing it or it was being done to you. And what it was a team would either balloon right on top of you with no warning, or, which can't happen because there are no balloons, or two people would win their gulag or get bought back by their teammate and they would land right on top of you with guns and slam your shit. And because the buys are, I don't know if there are fewer buys.
Yeah, they're fairly spread apart.
Yeah, I don't know. But like buying people back is more expensive. People are going to buys more often because they need more things, because you can't just loot everything easily like you could last season. It does feel more like a BR, and because your life matters more, you're not just getting fucking dove on all the time. And the worst, most cringe thing about this that used to happen all the time is you're fighting a team at whatever, Mosque on Urzikstan. You wipe their shitty butts. You kill them all easily.
Their little shit butts, yeah.
And then you start fighting another team, and then 20 seconds later, the team you just wiped the shitty butts of all land on you while you're embroiled in a new team fight with C9s and you're dead. And that shit is so cringe and annoying. And that is just not happening anymore, because you can't just respawn 100 times unless you get bought back 100 times, which is not usually happening. So like I haven't been landed on once, which is really cool. You'll kind of know where people are or are going to be, or where they're going to be rotating in from, or whatever. It's not to say you'll never be surprised, but because there are no balloons, if people are going to get to you really quickly, they're in a vehicle. So you hear it. And again, I'm as shocked as anyone that you will hear it. You'll hear it and you'll see it on the map. It's like, oh, okay, these guys are on top of us, but we had a little warning. There's a big red helicopter zooming around on the fucking map, and I actually heard it. So like,
yeah,
this isn't great. They're on our bitch ass, but at least I know, and I have some recourse. Whereas before, instead of a helicopter, those guys would be literally on you at the same time, and you're dead instantly, no warning. So that not happening anymore is great. And I think part of the reason for that is because there are way fewer regain mechanics. And another reason is because there aren't any balloons. This is really cool. Now, on the other hand, do I miss ballooning on every team in the lobby? Little bit, yeah. But it's a worthwhile trade-off, because it's not a skillful, fun kill or death. It's really not fair. Actually, It's not fair. Balloon or be ballooned on, that's what I always say. So now you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
but that's been really cool. Yeah. So anyway, today's episode is brought to you by our Patreon, where you won't hear ads like this, and we give bonus episodes every month, 3 of them. You also get the public feed, ad-free, as I just said, and early access as well. Normally, that starts at just $5 a month at the gold tier. which is the most bang for your buck. You get all that stuff I just mentioned, 3 Call of Duty bonus eps a month, and you could go above and beyond if you wanted a Q&A and behind the scenes ep or a hangout every month with Tanner and I. This month, we're getting Verdansk, obviously, or we already have it when you're hearing this. And so what we've decided to do is starting on the 11th of April through till the end of the month, we're offering free trials for the gold tier. That way you can risk-free get a feel for what the Patreon's like, enjoy the ad-free eps, and I think most importantly for this month, especially with Verdansk and all the other changes we're getting, the bonus episodes, because there's going to be a ton of strategy and impressions and tips and all that stuff to talk about starting this month. So this would be a great time for you to check out the Patreon, check out the bonus episodes, see if you enjoy that content, and then if you do, you can sign up. It's only $5 for the cheapest tier, and that gives you all the Call of Duty bonus content we offer. Again, you also get ad-free and early access on the public episodes, no ads on the bonus episodes either, obviously. So if you wanted to check that out, go to patreon.com/thedropshot. Probably wait till the 11th unless you really want to support us, because that way you can do the free trial. And the Patreon is the best way you guys can and do support the show. It's where we make the bulk of our income. So it's incredibly important and appreciated. Thanks, W. Verdansk, hopefully. Let's get back to the show. Next good thing. PAs, precision fucking airstrikes. First of all, as far as the loot goes, like shit you can like loot or whatever, you don't find kill streaks very often at all. I was very worried about this. You don't find self-reses very often at all. I'd say almost never to both of these, by the way.
I don't think I found one self-res at all when I played.
I found like maybe 3, like total, but they're fucking rare. Streaks, I've found maybe like 5 or 6, usually a UAV. This is acceptable. I'd rather they be purchase only, but they're not fucking everywhere, so that's really good. Gas masks you find fairly often, and I'm okay with that. That's not gonna just get me run over. Yeah. But the PAs. So let me be ultra clear. The PA change was bad. You don't get the indicator anymore. It's true. And I haven't died yet because of this, but my teammates, I think, all have to a man. However, when that happens, every time we get the notification, at least every time, because back in my day, which is what I mean by back in original Verdansk, as I said last episode, I now say back in my day. Back in my day, you would often neither get an indicator like we used to, nor a fucking nodie at all. So all of a sudden, you're dead to a PA. Got it. That was really dog shit. However, now the indicator's gone, and that's just bad, obviously. And you're a dumb fuck if you don't think so. Keep that in mind. But I at least have been notified every single time. It'll say precision airstrike inbound, and it'll be in an appropriate spot, not directly on my reticle like it also used to be back in my day. Terrible that it was ever there. But now it's clear, it's consistent, and it's not impeding my ability to fight someone. So this is not good news, give me the indicator back, but it's the best news we could have hoped for given what they were going for. So that's something. Same with cluster.
It's interesting you're saying this because I've seen so many clips on Twitter of people dying to a PA they didn't get a nodie on their screen for.
So that's possible, but I think it's intended, and this is that is exactly why the no indicator thing is dog shit, is because I suspect what's happening every time in those cases is they're just getting Kobe'd. So the PA gets called, whatever. When the PA is called, they are not close enough for a notification because they're actually not in danger. But then they happen to run into it and they die. This is why removing the indicator was bad. But every time the PA that I get the nodie for has been close, I've gotten the nodie. That didn't make sense. You get it. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just like all the, like, I saw one clip of this guy fighting another guy, and he ran like 30 meters. He was pushing this guy he was fighting. All of a sudden, the guy, it was so weird. It's like the guy he was fighting was, I'm not kidding, 5 feet from him, and he got down to the airstrike, but the guy that pushed in that didn't call the airstrike didn't. And he's like, this is exactly what's wrong with like not having the icon on the map. Is one, I never got a noti because I was out of range, so I moved in to fight that guy. And two, it's just so random. I'm so close to the guy, but maybe I'm just 2 feet out of the edge or something, so I survive and he doesn't. I mean, he was staring at the guy having a gunfight, literally 4 or 5 feet away from him, and he watches the guy get downed, and he does not take damage at all to it. And the streak comes right over, and it just does nothing to him.
Yeah.
So it's a terrible change, of course, to do that. But I mean, yeah, I guess if you're standing right where they call it, then yeah, the noti technically works. But yeah.
Yeah, which I don't think used to be the case. Like, I'm pretty sure back in my day, I would be on a rooftop for 4 minutes, and then a PA would just appear, and I never got a noti for it. And obviously no indicator because there wasn't one. That's what I mean by, like, I'm not getting those at least.
Yeah.
But let me be clear. I'm not defending the fucking PA change. It's ass, but it's at least better than it was, I think, back then. But
I feel like back then, honestly, it was the same. I think that's why they added the icon, is because you wouldn't get a noti half the time. So they're like, well, let's just add an icon on their map so then they won't complain anymore. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, maybe. Overall, I mean, PAs are... I got 4 downs or something with them yesterday because they're too good. You just call it in. You're just watching two teams fight. You just call one in and get downs. Yep. It's just... Easily. You know, it's stupid. It's too easy and dumb.
Yep. Just a brainless, no skill. Oh, I see red dots.
Yeah, it's like, if I were to push over there, I'm dead, because I was going to push like this open field, and it's like, oh, I'll just call in a PA. Well, these two teams are fighting. Sure enough, it works perfectly, and I just get easy downs, and it's stupid.
Yeah. Yep. It's shit. It's a shit change, to be clear. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to... Only. Yeah, you're shit if you think PAs weren't good when there's an indicator, by the way. Anyway, it bugs me that anyone thought or thinks otherwise. But another really good thing is I am no longer being spammed by the announcer telling me other people put a SAM turret down 2 clicks away from me. So that's sensational. Part of that is because there aren't SAM turrets anymore and other just bullshit kill streaks. Like, no counter UAV is awesome. They weren't good for the game. They were just annoying. And they were so easy to shoot down that it wasn't good. It was just a nuisance. Like, oh, some fucking retard I called them every time I picked them up, obviously, but call the counter UAV. Let me shoot it down real quick. It's just annoying. So those not being in is good. And fewer kill streaks means less announcer spam. But also, I'm never hearing the announcer say enemy cluster strike when someone not near me called a cluster strike. I'm not getting noties for kill streaks I shouldn't be getting them for, which is definitely new, because last season you would get notified of every SAM turret placed on the entire map. Every time. That shit was ass. So that not happening is really good. And then last good thing that we're going to talk about, obviously there are other good things, but none that are coming to mind. The ending spots have been very eclectic. They've been very varied. We've had endings fucking everywhere, which is awesome. I was not exactly expecting this, although I was expecting it a little more when we went over the patch notes and they were talking about, like, oh, the fucking edge zone endings. I was like, oh, okay, maybe they'll attempt to put endings there, though they won't work. No, they do work, and they were not lying. We've had endings on the edge of zone on the west side, on the east side, not on the north side yet, although they can be possible, nor the south side.
We kind of had one on the north when we lost to Stone Mountain.
Sorry.
That was on the north edge of the map. That was west of Quarry. Kind of. They were on a hill
yeah,
on the
yeah.
north side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we lost.
But yeah, so that's cool because those are fun and they're very different. But that's also not every ending spot. They seem like fairly random. We've had plenty of endings, you know, in POIs also. So this is really cool because I was worried we were going to get the same 3 endings every fucking game like we did like in Caldera or other times even, because they're like, oh, people didn't like it ending here, so it'll never end anywhere but these 2 spots. Have fun. That shit was ass. But now they seem like genuinely varied, which is great. Really good stuff.
Yeah, we had 2 on that kind of southwest side of the map. We had one just south of, I guess southeast kind of the go-kart track where that little like radio tower thing is. We had that one where you were the last one alive and we lost to those super sweats on the hill. That's a fun zone to end. We had one of the classic ones just basically west of Boneyard up in the hills. Those are always very fun.
Yeah.
I was very excited to get those endings.
In that bunker, I can't believe we won that game, by the way. Just can't believe it.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah. So actually, I think most of the games I played were on the edge of the map. So I wonder if they'll end up changing things. I'm trying to think if we had another ending when I played that was kind of in the middle of the map, but I really don't remember any. So they'll probably change it again, and then we'll never get an edge ending again.
One ended by the ground war map, like north of airport with you, didn't it? Karst River Quarry? No? Maybe it wasn't with you. I don't know. But
no, because we won a lot of games too. So I'm trying to think where we were when they won, and it feels like they were all on the edge. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, I mean, I like those endings better than just it ending, you know, in the middle of downtown. I didn't see a downtown ending personally. I don't know if any of you guys have, but that's been good to not have a downtown ending yet. But yeah, it's just fighting in those hills. It's fun. Yeah, like there's that buy station at the bunker out to the west of Boneyard. And yeah, one of those endings was really fun there. There was a team already up there in the hills and we were able to take them all out. I bought a teammate or 2 back, or 3 even, I don't remember. Got a nasty little snipe with the HDR. Just fun little spots to fight, you know, and we just haven't had that, it feels like. So that's been good. It's been really good. Having all that. I mean, even like when we lost to Stone Mountain's team, it's like that's a fun little area to fight in general. It's just, I don't know what it is. Just the hills and the mountains and the trees. It's more fun to fight there. Oh, we had an ending on the far east side of the map too. Yeah, I think actually, honestly, all of the endings were on the edge of the map. So I really hope they don't change it because that was another win we got. Far east side of the map, out past, I guess it was out above London. I think it was between Lumber and the fire station Raz loves. So that was another area too. So yeah, they're all on the edge of gas for me. God, I hope they don't change it though, man. Fuck, now I'm a little worried about that. But anyways, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all he has for the good category. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add. I mean, there are millions of things, but there are too many things to talk about. It's hard to remember all of them. The guns have been fun. I don't know where to put it, but I was using the HDR every single match. It's good, but also not sure how long that's going to last. It might turn quickly bad. But day one, I was enjoying sniping, and I was fine with other people sniping as well. I'm glad at least we don't have like the car with an infinite one-shot range, and it's at least an HDR that doesn't have, like Raz was saying earlier, insane aim assist. That's nice too. People just hit nutty shots that they shouldn't be hitting. So that was fun though. And that felt like OG Verdansk, where I was the only guy sniping. I don't think any of them were sniping when we were playing. So that was fun. You know, they'd be pushing in. I'd be back a little bit further, getting some snipes, or I'd be getting a pick right as they all start moving in. So I was having a blast with the HDR. It doesn't feel like the OG HDR whatsoever. Let's be super clear, but it was good. And with the guns too, another thing, they did a good job making the Kilo feel, look, and sound like the original Kilo. That one they did pretty good on. The Grau Iron's good, doesn't resemble the OG Grau Irons whatsoever. Doesn't seem like it really feels like a Grau. That's just another gun. And the AMAX, I just leveled it this morning, but from when I just unlocked it this morning, just from like using it in zombies just to level up like 10 levels for like 10 minutes. It sounds, looks, and feels like the original AMAX. So I think that one and the keyload they did a good job on. HDR has an abysmal scope, and I swear the original one zoomed a lot more than this one. But I saw some people on Twitter saying that's how much the original HDR zoomed. That seems wrong to me, doesn't it? Didn't the original HDR zoom like way more than every other sniper? Or were we putting a different scope on it?
Well,
I thought it zoomed
I don't know.
A lot.
What I do know is that the original scope was way better. I mean, it didn't have the crazy eye relief. It had like a tiny little miniature bezel. I don't know if it zoomed in more or less.
I think it's still at a large bezel.
Maybe I'm thinking of the variable zoom then, because a lot of people also did the variable zoom scope.
AX50? The AX50 had a very thin bezel scope. Okay.
No. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. It was too long ago. You can check your clips, actually.
I think we did.
One of the clips I posted, you were using an HDR, I think, on Twitter. But yeah, we wouldn't even know if that was the one it came with or not. Because yeah, a lot of people did use the variable.
Yeah, the original scope, it definitely zoomed more, and it had a big fat black bezel around it, but this one just looks weird. And I think it's
okay, interesting. Yeah.
More difficult. But yeah,
I don't know what I'm thinking of then.
It had a bezel.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is a video from that other guy that was with Stone Mountain, AccuLight, 1.2 million subscribers. Never heard of this guy. Huh. Okay.
A lot of subs.
Yeah, we got 4.
Yeah, I got ran over literally by a car. Okay, and then one other good thing, and again, like Tanner said, and like I did, there's a lot of good stuff here. But these are the important things. And the things that came to mind, the goat trails. So they were like, yeah, by the way, we added in some new goat trails so that you could like climb up shit you used to not be able to. For example, going from the bottom of dam to the top of it. They did in fact add goat trails, and they work. So that's good. And they're in a good spot. There are like a ton of them, but there are enough of them to get up there. We used one my last game on today, and we won that game. I YOLO pushed a couple kids at the end, but I was bored. Anyway, yeah, so that was a good change. And it still feels like the original Verdansk with goat trails. Like, it's not substantially different. It's just a good, smart change to the map that I think was needed and well done. And then that's pretty much it. So before we get into the bad section, 2 things to note. Number 1, because the audio is really good, the visibility is good, and there aren't that many cheaters, mainly the first 2, because who knows about the cheaters. This is already a great update that has wildly exceeded my expectations. Because not only is audio good, it's better than Urzikstan's audio was, which was pretty good. Like, you know, season 2, the last day. Audio was pretty good besides Zips, honestly. Like, it was pretty good. Now it's even better than that, which is insane. I can't believe it. And I can see people, and the visibility is fucking way better than season 2. Because every building was hard to see people or impossible to see people on Urzikstan. Now it's easy, trivial to see people inside every building on Verdansk. So the visibility is way fucking better than it was in season 2. And the audio's better than it was in season 2. Ladders as well, and people mantling shit makes noise, which it did not at all also. So like if people were hitting a jump spot on you, like climb up this crate, climb up that crate, and then mantle onto your roof, they would be silent in season 2. Now you hear that shit too. So the audio and the visibility getting better, automatically the floor is like a 6 out of 10 update.
Yeah.
So good shit. Number 1. And the few cheaters is really great. I hope they can keep that up as well. Who knows though. And then point number 2, big caveat here. They are not forgiven for the dog shit fucking disaster Every other update but this one has been to an update. Every single update. Utter horse dog burger shit. Awful. Really bad stuff. Season 0, season 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. Awful. Awful 1 to 3 out of 10 updates every single time. They are not forgiven for that, and I will not forget. Don't you worry. If you've been listening for a while, you'll fucking know I will not forget. So it's not forgotten, and they are not forgiven. And the fact that this happens to be, overall, spoiler alert, a very quality update, a good update, surprisingly good update, does not make it, it's not like worth it that the last, how long has it been? 6 months have been fucking awful? Terrible. Awful in Warzone? It's not worth it. This update could have been perfect, literally perfect, and it still wouldn't have been worth it. For half of the game's Warzone life cycle to be chalked trash ass wouldn't have been worth it. So They are not forgiven at all, and it wasn't worth it. I would have rather this update be less good than it is, but the last 6 months, we fixed quick fix on attempt 2 instead of 4, for example. So let me be ultra clear. I'm very happy with this update. It's exceeded my expectations, but part of the reason it's exceeded my expectations is because they've been so bad at their jobs for every other update since the integration. Atrocious, horrible at their jobs for every update before this season. So it wasn't worth it, but finally, the game is fun and different. That's another good thing. The game feels way fucking different. It is not stale at all. This is not a small update. It's a new map. There are no balloons. The vehicles got buffed. The time to kill got changed. The PA indicator got changed. The audio got massively better. The visibility got giga massively better. This is not there are new guns. A lot of them are meta as well. There are like 4 new guns that you could use. This is a massive, massive, novel, fun update. Great. It's not worth it for what I had to just endure for 6 months at all. Don't forget. And don't forgive. They should not be forgiven. Shame on them. If what they did was spent all of the last 6 months putting in dev time to one cool update, which is a cool update, they succeeded. It wasn't worth it. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Warzone 2, when the game was fucking ass for 8 months, and then the Halloween event was a cinematic Paramount Picture masterpiece. That was fucking awesome. There were aliens and UFOs and a fucking Sasquatch swamp monster, and it was crazy production value. The map was nighttime. The fucking POI text was all spooky, whatever the fuck. That was a great, awesome, super well done, unironically fun, cool Halloween update LTM. Did that make it worth it to play Warzone 2 for 8 months? Fuck no. Fuck no, it didn't. But that's what they were doing. They spent the entire 8 months making a cool Halloween update so they could force feed fucking Michael Myers skins down your throat, and you all bought it. Okay?
Yeah.
This is similar. This is similar. I don't know if this is what happened, but what it feels like happened is they said, you guys can go fuck yourselves for 6 months while we cook up season 3.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
You did a good job, but it wasn't worth it. Don't forgive them. However, if we're talking just about this season, as far as the good goes, it's good. It's really good. And I'm very, very pleased with it. But
never forgive, never forget. We should put that on a shirt.
Hashtag. Yeah, we should make that a hashtag. However, to their credit, to be fair, this is much better than an awesome Halloween update, because that was an LTM, and that was ultra not worth it because it didn't change the core game. This is different, so they ignored us for 6 months to make a really big update, but this one actually matters for every single game you're going to play. So this is better than doing that this is better than not doing anything in prep for a Halloween LTM, obviously. So cool, good, but don't forgive and don't forget. Yeah, that's what I always say. And hopefully they don't do this shit again. So yeah, like everyone tweeting like, oh, W Raven, Ted Timmons has been cooking. You're fucking stupid. Like, okay.
Yeah, there were some tweets like that pissed me off a lot.
They just forget. They just they're amnesic. They just don't remember how they tried to play with the plummeting player count because the game was fucking ass. You all forgot. Cool. Everything's forgiven because I'm on Verdansk again. I mean, again, great update, but was it worth it? I don't think so. I just don't think so. But I don't know. But those tweets fucking bother me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was one from some guy I'm not going to say, but it's only like Ted left us for a couple years, went into his basement and cooked up a beautiful Verdansk patch with his coworkers. Okay. What do you call the last 6 months?
Yeah, exactly.
Abysmal. Some of the lowest lows we've had of the game. They couldn't do anything correct. So don't just, this bugs me a lot. This update's great. It's been fantastic. They've done everything really well. Let's see how they do with bug fixes. But, they also ruined the last 6 months of Warzone. And like usual, they've killed off a chunk of the player base.
Exactly.
That will just not come back ever again or for a long time. And while we're talking about that, I'm kind of shocked. I expected the Steam numbers to be a lot higher than they are. They, of course, went up naturally. The peak's only been at 125,000 though, which is, I mean, BO6 launch was 313,000 just 4 months ago. In December, the peak was 191,000. I mean, all of last year, July, June, August, all of those just random months of MW3 had higher player counts peak than we've had so far with Verdansk. So obviously there are a lot more people playing, but I expected that number, even on Steam, to be a lot higher than it has been.
That is interesting.
But that's what happens when they just fucking kill the game for 6 months.
Exactly.
People don't trust you anymore. It's a lot of people aren't going to come back.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the patch has been well done so far.
Yep. So with that out of the way, now onto the bad stuff. So, again, spoiler alert, overall, great update, I would say, and we'll talk about that more. But here are some particularly bad things. Another thing I'll say, too, is that a lot of these are not that bad, not because they aren't that bad, but because they're easily remedied, and I think they will be remedied. So if they're not, these are really fucking bad. So some of them. But anyway, first one. They said in the blog post that the buys would not be static. Then they said in the patch notes, the buys will be in the exact same 30 spots. And then in the game, the buys are in fact not static. I hope that helps. There will be buys somewhere for one game, and then it just won't be there. Cul-de-sac is an example. We thought we were crazy, but we bought a loadout at the cul-de-sac, and then the very next game, we found ourselves there again, and Jake's like, wait, there's no buy here. Wasn't there a buy here last game?
A cul-de-sac.
And I said, yeah, actually, there was. And then I opened my map just to see if there was another cul-de-sac with a burning helicopter anywhere else. And I was like, oh, maybe the buy's there. There's just one. So, yeah, the buys are not static. So... I mean, again, this in particular, not a huge deal. It's definitely better if they are static. The thing that annoys me more is being lied to. So don't say they're static if they're not. However, easy fix. I think they'll fix it. But I'd prefer, obviously, they be static. I want to know where the buys are and fucking keep them there.
Well, they probably don't fix it, actually. It's probably just the patch notes were wrong. So it probably stays how it is right now.
Yeah.
They're kind of somewhat static, but also they're not, but also they kind of are. So that's
I don't know what's going on with them. But yeah, so either way, whatever. It's not the end of the world. The more important thing with buy stations is if there are too many or too few. That's the biggest problem, and we've had both of those in the past. Too many makes it, again, kind of trivial to regain. You can kind of have everything you want at any time. It's not that dangerous. And then too few just sucks. Like, you can't buy a loadout.
Yeah.
So you want a correct amount, they have the correct amount, whatever that amount happens to be. Put them in the same spot every game, but that's the big thing which they've done correctly. So fine. The movement speed nerf. So we had questions because the patch notes said like, what was it? Sprint move speed reduced by 4.9%. And then my big question was, does that apply also to tactical sprint movement speed? Not so much for tac sprinting with my gun, but more for tac sprinting unlimitedly with my melee weapon out, which is a cool new feature that we have. And I am saddened to report it does apply to that also. It is noticeably slower to run around with your melee weapon out. So that sucks. Is it horrendously slower? No. You still move pretty quick. And we used to never have unlimited tac sprints at all. So
yeah,
it's fine, but it's noticeably slower, and that kind of sucks. Although also, since there are no balloons, you really don't want to be running around very often anyway. Get a vehicle. You got to get in a vehicle. So once you kind of get used to that, this matters less. Where it matters a lot more, and this might just be something you can get used to, it probably is actually, because like on day one, I was dead sliding all the fucking time. And I'm virtually certain this is related to the reduced movement speed. Because if you move faster, you're moving at a velocity at which you will slide rather than crouch sooner. So now that you move slower, I'm thinking I've got the slide timing down. I crouch like an asshole, and then I get zapped in 200 fewer milliseconds than I used to also, by the way. So that is the really bad thing. It's been happening to me less though. So this could be just something you'll get used to, but overall, I just don't like it. I don't think we needed the slower movement speed. The increased slide friction is also fairly noticeable, but that is not a big deal to me at all. You don't slide quite as deeply, but it doesn't matter that much, I don't think.
It still feels smooth. Yeah.
It's still good enough, yeah, I think.
The side-to-side sprint thing they were talking about too, that was just an animation change, wasn't it? Or I don't know if it actually made anything more fluid, but it looks more fluid when you go from left to right sprinting. But
okay,
as somebody who doesn't play the game hardly ever, I did not notice the slower movement at all, honestly. I'm not going to pretend that I did. I didn't. Yeah. Maybe as I play more, I'll start to notice it, but I just didn't. So I also didn't notice the jumping thing they changed either. You can't bunny hop, so I don't know. Overall, the movement changes, I'm just kind of, not sure why they did any of them.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, the dead sliding is by far the most aggravating thing about that change. But again, I'm getting used to it, so whatever. Okay, next one is very big and not really exactly related to this update, though it kind of is. The servers are still just fucking horrendous. I mean, you still die behind walls, far behind walls.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
It's still a Treyarch main title, yeah.
Exactly. And this is exactly what we predicted, by the way. With the increased time to kill, this is even more annoying because you have way less time to duck behind that wall because the servers are shit, but now you're also dying faster. So you have very little time to get back behind that cover before you are dead. So that sucks, but I was not expecting this to change. So, I mean, I'm not surprised by this at all.
No.
But it's a shame that along with increasing the audio and visibility, they didn't increase the servers, though that was so far outside of the realm of possibility. And to their credit, they didn't say the servers were going to get better. Like they said the audio was going to get better. So at least they didn't lie about it. So that's something. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything to change. There was a small little piece of hope in the back of my mind. I was like, oh, maybe somehow it'll get better. It didn't. It still feels like it's has for months now. So.
Shit's ass. Yeah. So that's a shame.
Yeah.
But
die around lots of corners. Yeah. millions of them actually.
It happens more often now because before you had more time to get behind the wall. So anyway, it sucks. Whatever. I had originally written down the visibility outdoors is dog shit, but like I was saying, I have started to get used to it. This is not really happening to me that much anymore.
I will say what we ended up, I think it was in that second Patreon episode we did where we went over the second trailer they put out after we did our own little like run through of the map. And as we looked at it closer, what we predicted pretty much was like, okay, it almost looks like the inside of buildings are going to be fine. The areas I'm worried about are the outside shaded areas. And I mean, we were right. Those are the areas that are obviously worse. And there is still a glare. There's a sun glare and haze when you look east. It's not nearly as terrible as it ever was on Verdansk 84, but it's there. And it's just one of those things where still it's like, it doesn't need to be. Just put the sun in the middle of the sky and just don't add the little haze. I mean, that's all you got to do. It's just...
Or just delete the sun,
not like,
hot take.
It's not unplayable. It's just, why? Why do we have to do this? Just make it sunny. Just make it perfectly sunny. So, yeah. I'll see how my opinion on that changes as we play more.
Yeah, I think you'll probably get a little more used to it, but I don't think it's going to be as good as Urzikstan for the reason you mentioned, which is that like there's a lot of more wooded area, which is what we wanted, so fine.
As long as it's better than Verdansk 84.
It's much better, I think, So the one thing that is bad, though, about the sun is that it's actually happened to us. We were at police station by Karst River Quarry and looking like whatever, northeast, and we were below the hill that we were looking at, and the sun was right there. And it's not too bad, but there was a guy sniping up there. You are not seeing sniper glint if the sun's right behind him. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. You just don't see it. Now, is this common? Is this a huge deal? Not really. It was like a very specific angle you had to be at, but you know, it's not great. That doesn't ever happen on Urzikstan, so whatever. But yeah, overall, I mean, not too bad. And then I already talked about this, but I still mantle over all kinds of shit that I want to get on top of all the time, reliably, just like I did before. This aggravates me endlessly because it's been a problem since day one of the integration, and they said they fixed it and they didn't. So that's the most annoying part of it. Fucking fix it. Please, God, fix it. I don't know if they will, but this bugs the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously not going to ever get that right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
With mantling, the thing that bugged me a lot more than that is the fact that there are ledges, AC units, walls, whatever it may be, at a certain height that you could always jump over, mantle on, and climb over on Urzikstan 100% of the time, and so many of those just, you can't do that anymore. So, not only are there, like, you can't find ladders to buildings, there are no zip lines or anything like that. More than that is, it just feels like so often I have to completely run around something because I try to jump, I'm like, surely I can mantle on this, and you just can't. Like when you were trying to get onto the roof of that one little building on the east side of downtown because there was a contract up there, and you're like, how do you even get to the roof? And Jake's like, you can get to it. Remember how you went over to that one side and you tried to jump on the AC unit? It took you like 2 times before you eventually got it. Spots like that, they just kind of don't work. Like the first time I jumped to, I'm like, okay, it just doesn't mantle. And then you do it again and it'll mantle correctly. So a lot of that, I think in general, is just screwed up. A bunch of the ledges and walls, they don't work how they have been on Urzikstan for the last year and a half. So that's weird going from that because you're so certain in a lot of these cases, like I'm getting shot from the back, I can just jump over this ledge or something, and you can't, and then you just die. So that's very, very annoying, and I'm not sure how quickly any of that will change.
Also,
not too confident they'll fix that.
I don't know. I doubt it, honestly. But who knows? I mean, this is a good update. So it's the first time they actually did something. So maybe they'll continue to. I don't know. I didn't experience this personally, but according to everyone I play with, there are jump spots that were possible in the original Verdansk that are just not possible anymore. Jake and Cope were bitching about this a lot. I was never the, like, take notes on the Iceman Isaac jump spots video guy, so I don't know. But supposedly this is the case. That's
I saw
crazy
TikTok
if
showing
true.
this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
showing
crazy.
Different like building jumps that you couldn't do or that you could do before, and then now they just won't let you. Or they're, I don't know if like they placed an item or something coming off the wall that didn't used to be there, like an AC unit, so you can't do the jump, or if they just don't work. I don't know, but yeah, there was a side-by-side video showing off a lot of them that still work, and then some that just no longer work.
And that's nuts, because if anything, I would have expected more jump spots than before. I would have expected all the ones we used to have to work, and then some new ones, because you can like mantle higher than you used to be able to now. But it seems to be not, it means the opposite, which is crazy. Yeah. So for me, not a huge deal, but I guess if you know all of them and you like are in a gunfight and you're like, okay, I can easily outplay this guy if I hit this jump spot that I used to hit all the time 5 years ago, and then you die because you can't, that would annoy the fuck out of you. So yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another thing, okay, question for chat. Was there ever, because eventually they added a rappel to get to the roof of the airport. Okay. That rappel is not in the game right now. And I think on day one of Verdansk originally, there wasn't either. However, on day one of original Verdansk, was there ever an exterior ladder, or any ladder, that you could climb to get to the roof of the airport? Because I think I remember there being 2 of them, and they are not there anymore. Or like right now, I mean. So I could be misremembering, or there's no way up to the airport roof, period, unless you helicopter or gulag onto it. Literally. Does anyone know? I don't know if that was the case originally.
I feel like I remember a zip and a ladder, but...
well, there definitely was a zip. It just... I don't think it was in on day one. So that's fine. But I swear to God there was a ladder always. 2 of them. One on the east side of the airport, and then one on the west side. I'm pretty fucking sure there was always a ladder on both of those areas to get to the roof. And they don't exist.
West side there was. West side, you would take like a short, you would go out this little building and there was a short ladder onto another area with like AC units and then another ladder up to the roof. Is that one not there anymore?
So the first ladder is, so you can get, so you go out that door, you turn right, and there's a ladder there. That's still there. Climb that. And then you turn right again, and I thought I remembered a ladder being there also to get you to the roof, and it is not there right now.
Wow.
And the same like little structure on the exact opposite side of airport, we checked that too. No ladder. So I don't know if it was originally there or not. That's almost immaterial. Put a fucking ladder somewhere to get to the roof. Multiple of them. Is it a huge deal? No. I don't snipe from airport roof, obviously. But there should be some possible way to get up there besides a helicopter. So.
Yeah. I mean, at mid-season, we're getting the zips, but yeah, it's like, why are some of these ladders not here now?
Yeah.
But I guess maybe they just weren't there at the beginning and we just, you know. Everyone has, when they think of Verdansk, they think of a certain like era or month without realizing it. So it's like, how many of us are actually thinking of like month 1 of Verdansk, which probably it's supposed to be somewhat similar to that, like OG. So
right. Yeah.
Couldn't tell you at that point.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, but it also, it just doesn't really matter. Put the goddamn ladders there. So that kind of bugs me.
100%.
But more than that, because you might be thinking, hearing this, who cares? It's the airport. There are like multiple ladders, I swear to God, used to exist that just don't. Like in multiple buildings, not just airport. Airport's like the one I can easily, talk to you guys about. But I swear they've like removed ladders. I don't know. Or if they didn't, add some more. So anyway, that would be cool, obviously. This next one is a huge deal, but if it's fixed, it's fine. It's totally fine. And they could easily fix it. The reason I'm worried is they could also easily fix quick fix, I thought. And I was omega wrong. So I think this is easily fixed Monday or Tuesday. And if so, God bless. Not a big deal. What? Kind of a big deal because how did this happen? But whatever. I can deal with a week. The ground loot is just fucking atrocious, awful, bad shit. Really terrible, terrible, awful news. And I told you guys this was going to happen when we were reading the patch notes. They said, oh, okay, instead of handcrafted ground loot, we're now going to have ground loot that has like random attachments that that play to the strength of the gun. And I was like, what the fuck does this mean? I guess here's what it means. Telescopic optics on submachine guns. Cool. Hey, I don't want a 2x holo on a PP919 with no other attachments. In parentheses, fucking obviously. Don't do that. I certainly don't want a DM10 with a variable zooms optic on it. I certainly don't want that. I also don't want an iron sight SVD, obviously. I also want more than a 30 round mag ever, obviously. The ground loot is a mess. The attachment selection is one thing. It's fucking annoying. And the best SOG is usually the one with no attachments, which is the exact opposite of what they were trying to do, because they were trying to say, oh, we want you to seek out the rarer ground loot. Okay, your purple SOG, it has a 12x on it. I don't want that. I'll take the gray one with no attachments so I can use the fucking iron sights. So random attachments, obviously, dog shit idea, of course. But more than that, every single weapon, except when I don't need one right away, because then I'll find perfect ground loot, is a Marine SP that's purple and only has 4 rounds in it. Cool. Thanks for the shortened mags. An SVD, a DM10, a DM10, a DM10, a Sarkov 762, a Sarkov 762, or an AK with, again, a telescopic sight on it. That's unusable. All of those are unusable. The ground loot is really bad because the vast majority of it, I'm not kidding, are marksman rifles.
Yeah.
Or shotguns or snipers. Really fucking bad stuff. It's genuinely rare to find an assault rifle. SMGs are like the 4th most rare thing, or most common thing. ARs are the rarest thing you can find. A gray AR should be the color orange. That's how rare they are and sought after and valued they are. So the ground loot's a fucking nightmare. And put extended mags on everything like you did because we all wanted it, obviously, seasons and seasons ago. This is once again a problem we've fixed and rebroken. Why? So the ground loot I can't overstate how bad it is. Really bad. And especially because it takes longer to buy a loadout now. So I'm going to actually have to fight with the ground loot a little more often. You have to make it usable. Please God. The ground loot was fine, season 3. There were some bad guns, but if you found a good gun, its attachments were also good. You never had a telescopic sight on a C9 before. Can't say that now. So,
yeah.
Again, not the end of the world because this is easily remedied. But if it's not remedied, which it might not be, then it is a huge deal. So, yeah, we'll see.
I'm surprised you think this would be fixed that early. I don't think they touch ground loot, honestly, at all until like mid-season.
That'll bug the fuck out of me.
I don't think that's something they're going to fix that soon. Maybe they'll like reduce the amount of like marksman rifles or something like that, but the attachments that are on the guns now, I think those will be the same attachments till mid-season or next season. That's my guess. I don't think this is getting patched next week at all. It'd be nice if it does. But yeah, I really don't think it would. Did you see that swag clip of him getting mad at the ground loot?
No.
Well,
I'll
we
pull
have
it
to
up
play
for
it.
the stream, though. Yeah.
I just linked it and we're going to watch it because it's super funny and it sums up perfectly what you're just saying.
Okay. So I have Swag's clip here. It's 1 minute long.
We don't
Friend
really
of the pod, Swag, by the way. He's a big fan of ours. All right. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. Yep. There's his 3x PP.
Can someone please inform me why a Bison has a scope on it? Can someone please inform me why does a Bison have a scope on it? Can somebody please inform me why the Bison has an ACOG scope on it? I can't even fucking zoom in. The sniper scope on a sub.
Extremely based, yeah.
It doesn't even make fucking sense.
Bro, just fucking pre-aiming, rap.
And then he got fake gulagged.
And then he sticks a guy with thermite and dies to that thermite.
A Bison has
the guy
a scope on
charges
it.
at him.
God damn it, he's funny.
It doesn't make any sense.
Based.
Yeah, so that's funny. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, the ground loot is possibly the worst we've ever had, yeah. I mean, there are no extended mags for anything. It's all snipers. You're right, there are a lot of Marine SPs. Yeah, it's really, really bad stuff. Yeah. I want this changed ASAP.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just like, it's the marksman rifles though. Yeah, they're like DM10, I think is the most common ground loot item I was seeing. Fuck, it's annoying, man.
It's easily the most common. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, everyone but me finds the gold iron sight cipher. Like, yeah. And I'm trying to hit them, with an ACOG fucking SOG. Exactly. Shit is ultra giga ass. So, I mean, I hope you're wrong. I hope I'm right. I hope they do change it. If they don't change the random attachments, but they at least give me the ACOG PP919 more often than the DM10, I'll take it. I'm just hip firing everyone with it, but I'll take it. But yeah, either way, this is not like an intractable problem that we're just stuck with for the rest of the year. So I'm not that worried about it. But why did we do this? That's what it just bugs me. We are developers that should know, don't put a fucking ACOG on a sub, obviously. Like, it's crazy.
And
great
some people
clip.
Trust the devs enough to not have loadout guns, by the way. Some people just want ground loot guns. Okay. Would you play Warzone right now if those are your ground loot options? No.
Exactly.
Fucking course not. Never hope for that, ever.
Right. Yeah, 100%. So, Goober with the super chat, $1.99. Woo! This message is brought to you by a big vape hit base. I hit one just for you.
I'm a
Goober.
big Goober 05 clips guy.
Yeah,
dude. That's fucking
big Goober
funny.
05.
God,
thank you for the super chat, King.
Vape it up for us. Oh shit.
Yes! Exclamation points based. Good shit, Goober. Great shit.
Bro gets off to you vaping. He's
loves
edging
it.
to you hitting your face.
He's trying to quit the Nick. He's got a pass right now. Thank you, Goober. Appreciate that, man. So anyway, ground loot's really bad, but it's not an intractable, unsolvable problem. However, this next one I don't ever see changing this year.
Oh no. Yeah.
And this one is also really bad. The worst part of the update, fucking easily for me. And it's not close. The time to kill is just way too fucking fast. Compounded by the shit servers. The last time we had time to kill this fast was, I guess, early Caldera before they increased the health total soon after. However, in OG Warzone and on Caldera, the servers were not fucking nearly this bad. However, server quality aside, regardless of it, this time to kill is just worse. There is a reason back in the day, Raven gave us an extra 50 HP for a total of 300 health. Because everyone wanted a slower time to kill. Because you wouldn't just instantly die with no recourse. And it added more of a skill gap. Because the slower the time to kill, the more accurate you have to be for longer to get that kill. Ergo, skill gap. So, for example, again, this is the example I always use. If Nate Gibson, and no one knows who he is anymore, if Biffle and I are in a 1v1, okay, and we both have 1 HP, that's only about who sees the other guy first and shoots him. That's it. I could beat Biffle in a 1v1 sometimes if we both had 1 HP. Now, obviously, that should not be true. Now, conversely, if we both had 1,000 health points, I'm never killing Biffle ever. It's never happening. I can sit in a bush and wait for him to run by. He could have no clue I'm there. I can start mag dumping him. I could have a 500 HP advantage. He's way too good compared to me, especially, to ever die to me with 1,000 health. He's killing me every single time because the skill gap is so big that it'll take me too long to kill him before he can kill me because he's better than I am. Somewhere in the middle, probably what you want, probably around 300. That way I'm killing Biffle 1 out of 100 times, maybe. If I'm, again, ratting in a bush and I shoot him in the back, whatever. But I shouldn't ever be killing him. He's better than I am, for like, and whatever. So the slower the time to kill, the more often you will be rewarded, not for being better than the other person, but for seeing them first. This incentivizes camping. It incentivizes not moving your character. It disincentivizes moving your character because you have to incur a sprint to fire speed or penalty. And that's just not fun. It is not fun dying to someone you never knew was there and only losing because they shot first. That shit sucks. And with the old time to kill, you know, sometimes you die to someone ratting, of course, but it wasn't as common. And if someone way worse than you shot you in the back, you could like get to cover in the Nicholas of time, hit a plate or two, and then slam their shit. If the skill gap was large enough between the two people. That is just not true anymore because they raised the time to kill. So how did they do this? They didn't lower the health total. So you still have 300 health. But that doesn't mean anything unless you compare it to how much damage every gun does. So instead of changing the health, what did they do? Change the damage every gun does by a lot. Every gun got a ton more damage. And so the time to kill is effectively the same as how it was day one of Warzone. And they said this is to whatever, make it feel more like OG Warzone. Cool, it does, I guess, but there's a reason we increased the time to kill because people wanted that. Because even if you're bad, it's also not fun having this time to kill because your reaction time's too slow. If you start getting shot, you're dead instantly. If you get shot by more than one person, you're giga dead instantly. It's just not fun. And there are so many gunfights that are decided by who shoots first or who sees the other person first or who has numbers advantage.
Yeah.
In some sense, it's easier to like 1v4 because you can kill more people before you have to reload. But in another sense, it's way harder because if they can all start shooting you at the same time for even a moment, you're just dead. Whereas
you're instant
before,
melted.
yeah, before you had a little bit of time. So kind of whatever, but who cares about 1v4s? The average player, I don't know. It rewards shooting first too much. Meaning, don't move, camp, sound whore, hide, And if someone runs past you, shoot them in the back, they'll die before they have time to react and outskill you. And that's not fun for anyone, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. They also raised headshot multipliers on like a lot of the guns, didn't they? Many of them. That's interesting.
It's possible.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, especially like the close range time to kill, it seems. That's what is the most frustrating to me, is it feels like most of the time you can't even hardly react or make like a play that you used to be able to make even last year to survive and get out of there, and you're just dead at that point. Long range time to kill doesn't feel as awful, but it's just mostly the close range fights. Yeah, they feel
it's definitely
really
mostly
bad.
the close range fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a reason, by the way, we didn't talk about the SMG meta at the outset, because I forgot about it. Why? There isn't one. Have any fully automatic SMG. You're never going to lose because your C9 is worse than his compact or whatever. Pick any two SMGs. It doesn't matter anymore, because every up-close gunfight is 100% decided by who shot first. If I shoot you first with a C9 that has a slower time to kill with than a compact, which is what you have, I win every time. Time to kill is too fast for it to matter, the TDK difference between those two guns. And if you shoot me first with the compact and I have a C9, I'm dead every single time. And it's not because your gun kills faster than mine. It's because you shot first. That's it. Like, it doesn't matter what SMG you have. Be full auto and hit most of your shots and shoot first. Vastly most importantly. If you shoot first, you will win every time. That's not fun.
I wonder if they made these changes too, if they made the time to kill slightly faster in general, because they knew the HDR was going to be one-shot sniping at all ranges, and that's what everyone was going to be using because it's new. It's an OG gun. It, like I said, one shots at any range. It's got good velocity. It's got decent mobility, decent ADS time, all of that. So maybe that's why also they didn't want to leave the fully automatic time to kill how it was, because then that would make snipers even better.
It's possible. And
I don't know, but it doesn't feel great, and I think the more people play, the more annoyed they're going to be. And I think this will be the number one complaint you see, at least from the good players. Again, we don't know what people actually want anymore because they want the things that don't make any sense. So
correct. Yeah.
From the people we know and Twitter, this will be the number one complaint a week from now. And it is right now, but it's going to be kind of like the BO6 integration with Warzone, when everyone was like fine at first. And then 2 weeks later, they were like, this is the worst Warzone integration and update we've ever had. I think the TTK is going to be that thing pretty soon. That's going to be the one thing that everyone's really upset about, because the game's not going to be buggy. The map's good. There aren't going to be as many cheaters. So it's going to be the opposite of what we had lately. The game's going to be in a pretty good spot, and people are just going to be really annoyed that they're getting instantly melted every single gunfight.
Yeah,
that's never fun. And then, like, combined with how bad the servers feel and dying around corners, it's going to be rough.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully this is the number one complaint, because this is my number one complaint fucking easily. And this is, I'm glad, because if the visibility or audio is bad, those would be my number one complaints, because nothing matters if I can't see or hear people. But since I can, glad that I have something else to be my number one complaint. But this one's pretty bad. And unfortunately, I really don't see this changing, because they changed like every gun a lot. So they're going to do all the work of reverting that because people on Twitter are bitching about it?
Yeah.
Depends on the average player's opinion that I have, as we demonstrated last episode, no concept of whatsoever. So I don't know. I have no idea.
I think they stick with this through possibly the whole season. They probably want the season to feel like the OG Verdansk, keep a lot of players happy, and then maybe they make a change going into season 4 or something, nerf some of the guns. Even at Reloaded, maybe, when we get zips and things like that. I'm not really sure, but yeah. It's definitely not something they're just going to fix real soon and easily.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the big reason I feel like this is not going to change, I don't think this is going to change until the next integration, honestly. I hope I'm wrong, but that's my sense of it, because what they should have done if they wanted to do this is just say, hey, you now have 100 instead of 150 HP, just like the old days. That would accomplish basically the same thing, but it would also be really easy to change it back. Just add 50 health again. But instead, they did it the most awkward way, which is like, we're going to keep your health 300, which is different than it was originally. But to make the time to kill like it was originally, we're going to change every single gun. Like, that's so much more work to accomplish what they were trying to accomplish, which they explicitly stated was making the time to kill faster. So I don't know why they did it that way.
I guess they can make minor adjustments easily that way versus health. They're not going to just add 30 health or something. They'd have to reduce the health and then start tweaking the guns anyways. So maybe from their point of view, this is the best way to do it, because then maybe they will in like 2 weeks. They'll be like, okay, some of these guns are a little too good. Let's nerf these a tiny bit. And then that time to kill starts to creep up, 30, 40 milliseconds or something. And then pretty soon we're back where we want to be. But
that's a good point.
That's kind of how it works. It ends up just generally creeping up throughout the year. But this time it creeped down. Did a little downward creep. So, yeah.
So anyway. So I don't know. This is very hard to get used to. It's jarring as fuck.
It bugs me. Yeah.
One tiny little silver lining of this though is it is fun to kill people really fast.
Is it? Yeah.
It's fun. If you're the guy shooting people first, it feels good. It's like, oh my god, that guy got fucking deleted. But I just also know what it's like to be that guy also, and it's not cool. So anyway. Next one, I mean, the no indicator PAs are terrible, obviously. Of course. Duh. So we already talked about it, but whatever. And then we already talked about this next one too. The car is just way too easy to use for the vast majority of players because you have aim assist and because the servers are shit. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what they do about it though, honestly. They're not going to change the aim assist of a gun class. So
yeah, no.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's what people want though. People want good snipers. So
yeah, it's just everyone's way better than they used to be now too.
Yeah.
So dude, I get I see Glint and I'm already headshotted a lot. Way more than ever happened 5 years ago. Because people are just way better now. So it's like, oh, I got this car, blap, I'm dead. So anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And then last thing is there aren't any rappels anywhere to rooftops and shit. And they explicitly said we're gonna start adding them later on, but
mid-season
we wanted that back. Yeah, we wanted that OG feeling, whatever. I'm fine with this because they've said it's only going to be till season 3 reloaded. I can deal with it until then. However, I'm glad they recognize it should only be until then. I've already gotten the feeling of OG Verdansk. I'm already ready for this to be changed. Give me the repels. Because without repels, the map is much worse than I was originally expecting it to be, for exactly the reason I hated Verdansk back in my day, which is because rooftops are way too fucking strong. And lo and behold, without the new mechanics that I thought we'd be getting, which is fine that we didn't, the balloons and the repels, the balloons are fine. Repels, add them. Shocker. The buildings are way too fucking strong. Obviously. Guys on roofs that are just intractable. You can't get them out. You can't get up there. If you do, it's slow as fuck. Even if there aren't guys somewhere, it just is laborious. Oh, I killed a guy on this roof. I need to loot him because I have no plates. He runs up 18 flights of stairs like an asshole. It's just slow and boring and not fun.
Yeah, that's not
But
fun.
of course, also, Promenade East, are those buildings good? Fuck no. They're dog shit, trash ass, just like they were 5 years ago for the exact same reason they were trash 5 years ago. You're in a tiny little stairwell that you are forced to climb up. And then if people are in the little stupid box, good luck. Like, the only saving grace is there are impact grenades now. So you can maybe get a little damage on them first. But if they're even remotely decent, that's not going to be enough. You can't get up there. They're going to kill you. They're going to watch the ladder. They're going to watch the other ladder if they have a team. And they're going to slam you easily because you'll hear them, or they'll hear me climbing up the ladder, as they should, which is good, and zap my ship. So yeah, like, people are just, you have to, yeah, whatever. The buildings just suck for exactly the reasons I said they would. And that's why I originally hated Verdansk, is because it didn't occur to me to add repels that are good or fucking balloons 5 years ago. So once they added those things, and then we got news Verdansk was coming back, I was like, oh, okay, well, Verdansk will play a lot better because we have all these new mechanics now. But without any of the new mechanics, the map sucks. Downtown's awful. It's not fun. It's terrible, just like it was 5 years ago. So the map isn't good or bad in and of itself. It depends on the mechanics at your disposal. If we have none of them, the map sucks. A lot of it does anyway. Downtown, terrible. Prom East, terrible. And other places too. Train stations kind of sucks balls if you don't have the inside open either, by the way. But again, this isn't a huge deal because we're going to get the repels, the zip lines, whatever, back, and then it'll be fine, hopefully. But we goddamn need one in every promenade building, 2 of them, ideally, and some other annoying buildings. But we'll see what we get. But it'll be better. And now that, since I already know all this from 5 years ago, I just avoid that. I tell my teammates, oh, I'm not going downtown. Have fun. Or like, oh, there's a bounty really close to us we can pick up in downtown. I'm good. I'll drive 800 meters somewhere else to get one. I'm not fighting in downtown. I just won't do it. So now that I know that, it's better.
We made that mistake like game 1, I think. We went downtown in a game 1. And I think you even said, you're like, why are we in downtown?
Sure did. Yeah.
But then we kind of went through there a few more times after because we'd be going lumber or somewhere like that. And then we just end up going through downtown and we shouldn't. Yeah, downtown sucks. Once we get repels in, it'll make the map, I think, perfect. And we don't need balloons, and I don't want them to come back. And I think with repels 100%. Only, I think it'll be perfect.
Yes, I agree.
So, because also, like, the repels are just better now than they used to be. They're faster. You get off them quicker. You get on them quicker. So
you can shoot while you're on.
Very excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, one more little note. You can shoot people out of the sky now. People don't really try to do this. Have you died to it yet?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
People like forgot it was a thing. Our very first drop, I almost killed somebody. Unfortunately, Cope somehow with aim assist just couldn't hit the guy. I got him one shot 1,000,000 times. The starting pistol's ass, so I had to reload. He kept auto regenning health. I mean, I had the guy just dead for rights, dude. On my very first drop, I almost got him, but I have terrible teammates. You and Jake were already at lumber, and Cope was just fucking useless as usual. So
yes, of course.
Pissed me off. I was trying to get a kill before that guy hit the ground.
Yeah. That's also another good thing. A couple good things are not a consequence really of the patch or the devs' decisions, but just the player base. One of them is like, I'm not really getting shock charged ever. I mean, I've been shock charged like twice.
Yeah.
Which I'm really pleased with, but I don't give credit to the devs for that. It's just for some reason people aren't running shock charges. I think it's because they're running smokes instead. But they shouldn't even have the option. So they don't get any credit, but I'm glad I'm not being shock charged, I guess. But it's not like the devs were smart enough to just remove them. So they get no credit for that. And then the same with the shooting people out of the air. Way less big of a deal. But I think the reason it's not happening anymore isn't because people forgot. It's because people remember very well being shot out of the air, and we've all learned, don't just float ever. You got to just dive bomb. And if you're dive bombing, you're not going to get shot out of the air. It's like basically impossible. No one just floats there and looks around like they used to back in the day. Yeah. You can easily slam their shit.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I would try if I saw anyone floating ever, but no one does. They're all too good now. They just beeline right to where they want to go. You can't shoot them out of the air. So it's like not that big of a deal. But again, that's not because the devs are, smart or whatever. But yeah. So anyway, overall impression.
Good.
Great update overall. Obviously, there are some problems. There are some other bad things probably. There are some other good things probably as well that we didn't talk about. Those are the big ones. And I just am, as far as like my expectations versus the reality, the update is a 14 out of 10. I can't believe how good it is compared to what I was expecting. Objectively speaking, it's like a 6 out of 10 if they don't fix any of the problems. But given the problems we have and which ones I expect them to fix, once the bad things that I think are going to get fixed do get fixed, the update will be like an 8 out of 10. Namely the ground loot, adding the repels. Once they do that shit, it's like an 8 out of 10 update. However, where are the other 2 points? Time to kill, I don't think that's going to change. That's holding it back. And oh my god, what was the other thing?
Time to kill. The movement.
Oh, the servers are still dog shit.
Oh, yeah, you just can't even expect that to be changed, though.
Exactly, yeah. So those are the 2 things like really holding it back that I don't think are going to be changed. But all the other bad stuff, I think it's either not that bad, so it's not holding it back too much, or I think it will be changed. So I'm expecting this to, when the dust settles, be like an 8 out of 10 update, which is great because we haven't had anything. You can add up the out of 10s of the entire year and it wouldn't equal the number 8. 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. And then we still wouldn't be as this good. Yeah. So I'm very pleased with this. I'm very pleasantly, very surprised. And I'm really excited. And content's going to go fucking nuts. We have a lot to talk about now. So thank God. Yeah.
It's surely, I mean, this is obviously way better than the actual BO6 integration. The update is a lot more impactful, the new map, everything. So this feels like the Warzone integration. And it's the best the game has felt in a while. I still genuinely think MW3 Warzone was peak Warzone. Early on MW3 Warzone, I thought that was peak, but, this has been really fun so far. I just like that game better, though, and the feeling of everything, the gunplay, everything. So that, I think, will always be the best for me, but this is probably a close second to that. Yeah. I mean, it's much better now than original Verdansk. It's been fun. Yeah, it's the most annoying thing for sure is the time to kill. So hopefully they change this.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
It's been fun just sniping too and having fun doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it does, by the way, it does accomplish the nostalgia thing. I've been getting little pangs of that word doesn't have the right connotation, but of nostalgia a lot playing this map. I'll just be in like a random spot looking in a random direction and I'll get a random memory of like 5 years ago. And it's like, oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Or, like flying in the chopper. Or flying in the chopper and wiping your entire squad. It's happened to us twice. Because you barely bump tinily. 1 Newton of force, you bump into something with the chopper. Boom, squad wipe. You guys lose. You're dead. It's happened to us 2 times. Which is funny. Make the choppers not that brittle, but whatever. It's fine. It's funny. So So yeah, it has accomplished that nostalgia a lot. Doesn't feel exactly the same, obviously, but in large part it's for the better. The old things or the new things that we still have that cheapen the experience are shock charges, blast traps, but I'm not really running into those. So
Yeah.
a lot of the old shit is a welcome change. The no balloons, vehicles being relevant, longer matches, less cheesy respawn bullshit, fewer kill streaks, more expensive kill streaks, all of that stuff. It's nice. They did a great job, man. They really did a great job. Loath as I am to say it, and they're not forgiven, but this has been an excellent update, and hopefully we can look forward to more of them. It would be great to play out the rest of this year with a fun game.
Yeah.
Like it would be so nice. And luckily, they have a roadmap for what they're going to do, which is shit they did 5 years ago. They're going to open the stadium. That'll be fun and cool. They're going to open the train station. That'll be fun and cool. They're going to add rappels. But they have like a vision. They don't have to think of new cockamamie bullshit like painting green slime all over Pop-Off Power and calling it an update, because that's not. So that's going to be nice. There's a lot to look forward to if they don't botch anything. So really good. The future's looking bright. I'm excited. And that is it. So the episodes are going to reflect that. We have a lot to talk about. Finally, that's going to be starting with our very next episode. Normally it would be like a news and upcoming changes and patch notes episode, but like Tanner said, there aren't going to be that many. We will talk about whatever there is, but it's just not going to be that much. They're going to be like, whatever, we fixed the bug where you can't slide to prone. So we'll say, cool, this has changed. There you go. But then we're going to talk about, all about Warzone. So what perks you should be running, what guns you should be running, where you should be landing, what your strategy should be, early game, mid game, late game, when to go buy, what to buy, etc. All kinds of shit like that. If you are struggling in general, or if you're not struggling, if you're new to Verdansk, you're new to this Warzone style, your life mattering, all of that shit, how to rotate, hashtag pinwheel. I came up with that, by the way. We're going to get into all of that and more, and it wasn't Iceman Isaac. So be here for our next ep. Schedule will be posted on our Twitter and in our Discord and on our YouTube and patreon.com/thedropshot. If you want to support the show, sign up now. If you don't, wait till April 11th. You can do a free trial. So you can scam us out of a couple free bonus episodes. And during that free trial, you can enjoy early access and ad-free public episodes. That is the best way to support the show. We really love and appreciate all of our patrons and would appreciate if you signed up. So yeah, you can get that free trial and take a peek behind the curtain, see what it's like, see if you want to do it. It's only $5 a month for all the COD related stuff. You can do more if you want. And yeah, the Patreon bonus episodes are going to go fucking crazy. I mean, with all these weapon changes alone, there's like so much to talk about right there. Some of the attachments work now, like the Strelok laser, which is kind of in vogue. So we'll talk about that and others. There's just a ton of shit to get into, both public eps and bonus eps. So great time to join. Now is the best time. Patreon.com/Dropshot. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Activision devs still don't play their own game. You can tell from the ground loop.
Yeah, no, definitely not.